HOA officers tried chasing me around my yard, didn't know I had every step recorded. Have you ever felt like your own neighborhood turned against you, with rules weaponized to control your every move? That's exactly what happened to Marcus Tate, a 34-year-old mechanic who thought he'd found his dream home in the quiet cul-de-sac of Willow Creek. The manicured lawns and promises of community harmony drew him in, but what he got instead was a showdown that would unravel the HOA's iron grip and expose a petty tyrant's downfall. Marcus had been in Willow Creek for barely 6 months when the trouble started. His backyard vegetable garden, his pride and joy, with rows of tomatoes and peppers, was deemed unsightly by the HOA board, led by Karen Whitaker, a self-appointed guardian of neighborhood aesthetics. Karen, a retired accountant with a knack for micromanaging, sent Marcus a violation notice demanding he remove the garden within 48 hours or face a $500 fine. The notice cited vague HOA bylaws about maintaining uniform landscaping. Marcus, baffled but defiant, refused. He checked the covenants, conditions, and restrictions, CC and RS, and found no explicit ban on vegetable gardens. This wasn't just about tomatoes, it was about his right to his own property. The situation escalated faster than a summer wildfire. Karen, flanked by 2 other HOA officers, Tom, a nervous realtor, and Linda, a gossip-hungry retiree, showed up at Marcus's house unannounced. They claimed they had the right to inspect his backyard for compliance. Marcus, working on his truck in the driveway, told them to leave. That's when Karen, clutching her clipboard like a shield, declared they'd enter anyway, citing some murky clause about emergency access. What followed was chaos. The trio stormed through the side gate, chasing Marcus around his own yard as he shouted for them to get out. Karen pointed at his garden beds, yelling about violations, while Tom tripped over a hose and Linda snapped photos with her phone. Neighbors peeked over fences, jaws dropped, as the absurd scene unfolded. Unbeknownst to Karen and her posse, Marcus had installed security cameras around his property after a string of package thefts in the neighborhood. Every step, every shout, every moment of their trespass was captured in crisp 1080p. The footage showed Karen shoving past Marcus's gate, Tom stumbling, and Linda's frantic photo-taking all without permission. It was a goldmine of evidence, and Marcus wasn't about to let it go to waste. He uploaded the video to the neighborhood's private social media group, captioning it, "HOA thinks they own my yard." Thoughts? The post exploded, racking up dozens of comments from residents fed up with the board's overreach. One neighbor, Sarah, a quiet single mom, messaged Marcus privately, "Karen's been harassing me about my son's basketball hoop for months. You're not alone." The truth began to unravel like a poorly knit sweater. Marcus wasn't the only one Karen had targeted. Sarah revealed that Karen had fined her $200 for her son's hoop, claiming it lowered property values, despite similar hoops dotting other driveways. Another resident, Javier, shared that Karen had threatened him over his unapproved mailbox color bright blue, which she called tacky. A pattern emerged. Karen's enforcement was selective, targeting newcomers or anyone who dared question her authority. Marcus dug deeper, reviewing the HOA's financial records, which homeowners could access under California's Davis-Sterling Act. He found irregularities, thousands of dollars in miscellaneous expenses paid to a landscaping company owned by Karen's brother-in-law. The plot thickened. This wasn't just about control. It was about profit. Armed with the video and financial discrepancies, Marcus called for a special HOA meeting, rallying enough signatures from neighbors to force the board's hand. The meeting, held in the community center, was a powder keg. Karen sat at the front, her usual smirk replaced by a nervous twitch as Marcus connected his laptop to a projector. The room fell silent as the security footage played, Karen's voice barking orders, Tom's clumsy fall, Linda's sneaky photos. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Then came the twist. Sarah stood up, trembling but resolute, and shared her own story. She'd kept emails from Karen threatening to lien her home over the basketball hoop. Javier followed, waving a receipt for his $150 fine over the mailbox. The room erupted in shouts, with residents demanding answers. Karen's face flushed crimson, her clipboard no longer a shield. The confrontation reached its peak when Marcus presented the financial records. He'd hired an attorney, who pointed out that the payments to Karen's brother-in-law could constitute a conflict of interest, if not outright fraud. The crowd's anger turned to outrage. Karen stammered, claiming the payments were legitimate. But her excuses crumbled when a retired CPA in the audience volunteered to audit the books. Tom, sweating profusely, admitted he'd gone along with Karen to avoid conflict, while Linda tried to slip out the back door, only to be stopped by a neighbor demanding accountability. The HOA board was unraveling before everyone's eyes, their authority exposed as a house of cards built on intimidation and favoritism. Karen's downfall was swift and brutal. The audit confirmed $12,000 in questionable payments to her brother-in-law's company, prompting a police report for suspected embezzlement. Karen resigned from the board the next day, citing personal reasons. But the neighborhood knew better. Her allies, Tom and Linda, stepped down too, unable to withstand the community's distrust. A new board was elected, with Marcus and Sarah among the members, promising transparency and fair enforcement. The CC and RS were revised to clarify rules on gardens and personal property, ensuring no future Karens could exploit vague wording. Marcus's garden stayed, now a symbol of defiance, with neighbors stopping by to admire his tomatoes and share their own stories of HOA overreach. The aftermath was a neighborhood transformed. Willow Creek felt less like a prison and more like a community. Residents started a group chat to discuss concerns openly, bypassing the old board's secrecy. Sarah's son played basketball without fear of fines, and Javier's blue mailbox became a quirky landmark. Marcus's video, now viral on social media, inspired homeowners across the country to check their own HOA records and stand up to petty tyrants. The message was clear. Power unchecked breeds corruption, but truth, backed by evidence, can topple even the most entrenched bullies. What would you do if your HOA overstepped like this? Have you faced a Karen in your community? Or do you think HOAs can still serve a purpose when run fairly? Share your thoughts. Your story might spark the next revolution in your neighborhood.